2022 is going to be the year of what's going to happen. It's going to be a very interesting year because we can see a lot of developments happening that are potentially going to be fascinating. I think for the church, for the elect, the called out ones, we're going to see the hand of God move upon the earth like it's never moved before. And you want to stick around for the show because it's going to be bigger than Ben-Hur. It's going to be extraordinary. The whole of the world has been set up for this choice, this moment in time when everyone is going to be picking whether they stay with Yod-Vave or whether they join the enemy. God created an enemy so that the enemy could be the choice, could be the choice of choice for those who seek another option, who don't want God. Which for us is a crazy notion. Why would anyone not desire what is good that God represents? God represents all things that are good, right? And yet there are those who do not want God. And why is that? Well, because as you probably know, we who have been tested are being tested all the time by God. It sometimes is extremely frustrating and very painful to try to figure out why God does what God does. And there are people who just want instant gratification. They don't want to be refined. They don't want to be put through the fire. They don't want to have this being purify them. They don't want a being to purify the nastiness out of their lives. They want to remain in rebellion. They want what the world has to offer. They want the darkness of the world. They don't want what God represents, the good that God represents. They don't want to serve under God. They don't want to serve, right? Because serving God, serving under God, means that you've got to obey and do the things that God has put into order. We know this. We know this even from family members around us right now in our lives. You know, we are experiencing a Jezebel spirit in the world, a controlling spirit, which we rebuke and cancel all of its plans in Jesus' mighty name. This enemy and its supportive pagan deities who are intent on destroying the natural order that God has put into place, this enemy is determined to destroy the natural order. And we know that there's this spirit of rebellion in the world that does not want the natural order. A spirit that keeps inclining itself towards darkness and disrupting what God's natural law is. God set things up and they work best when God is in charge, when God directs our paths. God knows our future. God knows where we are going. God knows every step we're going to take. And He sees into infinity. He sees exactly what's best for us. And when we go against that, then things go bad, right? And we may think we want certain things. And sometimes it's even counterintuitive. God, why would you stand in the way of a marriage? Why would you stand in the way of a business transaction? Why would you stand in the way of something that makes all the sense to me, but it doesn't make sense to you, right? It makes sense to us, here on earth, this is what we think is best for us. But God knows best. He knows what needs to be done to bring us out of that state of rebellion, to bring us out of that state of lost into a place where it's all working. It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make sense. The things of the spirit world don't make sense here on earth. And this is one of the reasons why there's so much rebellion, why there are people that are not interested in God, don't want to have God run their lives. And they don't want to love God, because to love God means you've got to do the right things. I've come into many questions over the last 3 weeks. I have had some serious challenges that I've had to deal with, but for the most part, some of those challenges have been related to what I thought of people that were in my life. I've got a whole range of new people in my life, which is very exciting. You know, there's so many new people now in my life. I once had 5 friends, now I've got thousands.